Hi students, welcome to Chemistry tutorial. In this video, let's see Class 8 Science Curiosity, Chapter 9, The Amazing World of Solutes, Solvents and Solutions, 1, 2 and 3 mark questions and answer. Let's see 1 mark questions and answer. Question number 1, what happens when salt is added to water? Answer, it dissolves and forms a uniform mixture. Question number 2, what happens when sawdust is added to water? Answer, sawdust is not dissolved with water and forms a non-uniform mixture. Question number 3, is sugar water a homogeneous or heterogeneous mixture? Answer, homogeneous mixture. Question number 4, name the two components of a solution. Answer, solute and solvent. Question number 5, which component is present in large quantity in a solution? Answer, solvent. Question number 6, what is a solute? Answer, in a solution, the substance present in smaller amount is called the solute. Question number 7, can a solid dissolve in a solid? Answer, yes. Question number 8, give one example of solid-solid solution. Answer, alloy, that is brass. Example, brass. Question number 9, can a gas dissolve in a gas? Answer, yes. Question number 10, give one example of gas-gas solution. Answer, air. Question number 11, name one liquid gas solution. Answer, soda water. 12, identify the solute and solvent present in the air. Answer, in air, nitrogen is a solvent while oxygen and other gases are solutes. Question number 13, what is the meaning of insoluble? Answer, a substance that does not dissolve in a solvent is called insoluble. Question number 14, name one insoluble substance in water. Answer, sand, sawdust. Question number 15, does stirring increase the rate of dissolving? Yes. Question number 16, does crushing a solute increase dissolving the speed? Yes. Question number 17, what is the effect of heating on dissolving solids? Answer, when we heat the solid, it increases the rate of dissolving. Question number 18, what happens if more solute is added to a saturated solution? Answer, it will not dissolve. Question number 19, what does a solution become saturated? When does a solution become saturated? Answer, when no more solute can dissolve, it becomes saturated. Question number 20, can a saturated solution become unsaturated? Answer, yes, by heating or adding more solvent. Question number 21, what is crystallization? The process of forming solid crystals from a solution is called crystallization. Question number 22, does solubility increases with increase in temperature? Yes. Solubility increases with increase in temperature. 23. Does temperature affect the solubility of gases in liquids? Answer, yes. Solubility of gases generally decreases as temperature increases. Question number 24. What does high concentration means? Answer, more solute in less solvent. Question number 25. What does low concentration mean? Answer, less solute in more solvent. Question number 26, can concentration change by adding water? Answer, yes. Question number 27, what happens to concentration when water evaporates? Answer, it increases. That is, evaporation increases. That is what happens to concentration when water evaporates. When water evaporates, its concentration increases. Question number 28, is milk a true solution? Answer, no. It is a colloid. Question number 29, why do some object floats in water? Why do some objects float in water? Answer, because they are less dense than water. Question number 30, why do some objects sink in water? Answer, because they are more dense than water. Question number 31, what is density? Answer, density is defined as a mass present in a unit volume of that substance. Question number 32, write the formula for density. Answer, density is equal to mass by volume. 33, what is the SI unit of density? Answer, kilogram per meter cube. Question number 34, is density depend on shape? Answer, no. Question number 35, on what factors does density depend? Answer, temperature and pressure. Question number 36, which instrument is used to measure mass? Answer, weighing balance. Question number 37, what is relative density? Answer, the ratio of density of a substance to the density of water is called relative density. Question number 38, does oil floats on water? Why? Answer, yes, oil floats on water because it is less dense than water. Question number 39, what is mass? Answer, the quantity of matter present in any object is called mass. Question number 40, name the instrument used to measure the mass. Answer, digital weighing balance. Question number 41, what is weight? Answer, weight is a force by which the earth attracts an object. 42, in which unit is weight measured? Answer, Newton. 43, in which unit mass measured? Answer, gram or kilogram, that is Gram can be represented by small g and kilogram can be represented by, that is small k and small g. Question number 44. How to measure the volume of liquids? Answer, measuring cylinder. 45. What is meniscus? Answer, the curved surface of the water inside the measuring cylinder is called meniscus. Question number 46. What is solubility? Answer, solubility is the maximum amount of the solute that can be dissolved in a fixed quantity of a solution. 47. What happens to density when temperature increases? Answer, density decreases when temperature increases. 48. What happens to density when temperature decreases? Answer, density increases when temperature decreases. 49. Why does hot air rise? Answer, hot air rises because it is less dense than cool air. Question number 50. At what temperature does water have maximum density? Answer, water has maximum density at 4 degrees Celsius. Question number 51. Why does ice floats on water? Answer, ice floats because it is less dense than liquid water. 52. What happens to gas when pressure increases? Answer, the volume decreases and density increases. 53. How does pressure affect liquids? Answer, pressure has only a small effect on liquids because they are nearly incompressible. 54. How does pressure affect solids? Answer, pressure has a very little effect on solids. Question number 55. What happens to particles when temperature increases? Answer, particles move farther apart and spread out. Next, let's see 2 more questions and answer. Question number 1. Why does a wooden stick floats while an iron rod sinks? Answer, a wooden stick has lower density than water, so it floats. An iron rod has higher density than water, so it sinks. Question number 2. Define density and write its formula. Answer, density is the mass per unit volume of the substance. Density is equal to mass by volume. Question number 3. What is relative density? Answer, relative density is the ratio of the density of a substance to the density of water at the same temperature. It has no unit. Question number 4. Why is oil lighter than water? Answer, oil has less density than water, so it floats. Question number 5. How can mass be measured using a digital weighing balance? Answer, switch on the balance, set it to 0, place the object on it and note the reading. Question number 6. Define solute and solvent with example. Answer, solute is a substance that gets dissolved. Solvent is a substance that dissolves the solute. Example, in salt water, salt is a solute and water is the solvent. Question number 7. What is a solution? Give an example. Answer, a solution is a homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent. Example, sugar dissolved in water. Question number 8. Give 2 examples of different types of solutions. Answer, solid in liquid. Example, salt in water. Gas in liquid. Example, carbon dioxide in soda. Question number 9. What is a solid-solid solution? Give example. Answer, a solid dissolved in another solid. Example, alloys like brass. Question number 10. Difference between dilute and concentrated solutions. Answer, dilute solution, concentrated solution. Dilute solution less solute, concentrated more solute. Second, light taste and color. Dilute solutions light taste and color, concentrated strong taste and color. Question number 11. What is a supersaturated solution? Answer, a solution that contains more solute than it can normally hold at the same temperature, at that temperature. Question number 12. Explain the effect of temperature on density. Answer, when temperature increases, particles move apart and volume increases. Since mass remains the same, density decreases. Question number 13. Why do hot air balloons rise in air? Answer, hot air inside the balloon becomes less dense than the surrounding cool air, so the balloon raises upward. Question number 14. Explain the effect of pressure on gases. Answer, increasing pressure pushes gas particles closer together. This decreases the volume and increases density. Question number 15. Why does ice occupy more space than water? Answer, when water freezes, the particles arrange in a structure that takes more space, causing expansion. Question number 16. Why is the floating of ice important for aquatic life? Answer, ice forms a layer on the surface of water bodies, keeping the water below warm enough for aquatic organisms to survive. Next, let's see 3 more questions. Question number 1. Explain why objects floats or sink in water. Answer, an object floats if its density is less than that of water. It sinks if its density is greater than water. Floating and sinking depend mainly on density. Question number 2. Define density and explain how it is measured. Answer, density is the mass per unit volume of a substance. It is calculated using the formula density is equal to mass by volume. Mass is measured using weighing balance and volume is measured using measuring instrument. Question number 3. Explain the difference between dense and less dense with example. Answer. A dense substance has more mass in a given volume. Example, iron. A less dense substance has less mass in the same volume. Example, wood. Dense objects usually sink in water while less dense objects floats. Question number 4. Explain the steps to measure mass using a digital weighing balance. Answer. Switch on the balance. Ensure it shows zero reading. Place the objects on the pan. Note the reading shown on the display. Question number 5. Explain why objects floats or sink in water. Answer. An object floats if its density is less than water. It sinks if its density is more than water. Thus, floating and sinking depend on density. Question number 6. Explain how to determine the density of a solid. Answer. First, to measure the mass using a weighing balance, then measure its volume. Using the formula, density is equal to mass by volume. So, we can determine the density. From this, we can determine the density of a solid using this formula. Density is equal to mass by volume. Question number 7. Difference between mass and weight. Mass is the quantity of matter. Weight is the force of gravity. Mass is measured in kilogram. Weight is measured in Newton. Mass present everywhere. Weight changes with the place. Question number 8. Why is density independent of shape and size? Answer. Density depends on mass and volume. If size changes, both mass and volume changes proportionally. So, density remains constant. Question number 9. Explain the characteristics of a true solution. Answer. The true solution, if it is homogeneous mixture, solid particles are very small, it does not scatter light, particles do not settle down. Question number 10. Differentiate between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixtures are uniform composition, heterogeneous non-uniform composition. Components not visible, that is components not visible, components may be visible. Example, salt water. Example, sand and water. Question number 11. Classify solutions based on physical state with example. Example, solid and liquid, salt in water, liquid and liquid, alcohol in water, gas and liquid, carbon dioxide in soda. That is aerated drink. Question number 12. Why is air considered a solution? Answer. Air is a homogeneous mixture of gases like in nitrogen, oxygen and other gases. The gases are uniformly mixed, hence air is a gas-gas solutions. Question number 14. How does temperature affect solubility of solids and gases? Answer. For most solids, solubility increases with the temperature. For gases, solubility decreases with the temperature. Hence, temperature has opposite effects on solids and gases. Question number 15. What are saturated and unsaturated solutions? Answer. A saturated solution cannot dissolve more solute. An unsaturated solution can dissolve more solute. Saturation depends on temperature. Question number 16. Explain how concentration can be changed. Answer. By adding more solute, concentration increases. By adding more solvent, concentration decreases. By evaporation of solvent, concentration increases. Question number 17. How can salt be obtained from salt water? First, salt water is heated, then water evaporates, then salt is left behind as solids. Question number 18. Explain the effect of temperature on density. Answer. When temperature increases, particles gain energy and move apart. This increases the volume of the substance. Since density is equal to mass by volume, the increase in volume decreases density. Question number 19. Explain the effect of pressure on density. Answer. Pressure mainly affects gases. When pressure increases, gas particles move closer together. This reduces the volume and increase density. Question number 20. Why does ice floats on water? Explain. Answer. Water has maximum density at 4 degrees centigrade. When water freezes at 0 degrees centigrade, its particles arrange in a structure that occupies more space. This decreases density, making ice lighter than water, so it floats. Question number 21. Explain why a raw egg sinks in water. Answer. A raw egg sinks because its density is greater than the density of water. When salt is added to water, the density of water increases, then the egg may float. That's all, the question and answers gets over. If you want more videos, like, share and subscribe Chem Free Tutorial. Thank you.